Hello everyone, my name is Peace and this channel is called Perfect Your Skin with Peace. And as it states, it's going to be about, perfecting your skin with me. So it's basically about we're going to be finding the right skincare routines and also defeating the word perfect as well. Even though that's in my channel's name, I want to use a different definition than what we are normally use or how we normally see the word perfect. So the definition of perfection is the Google translate or Google definition is the conditions, state, or quality of being free or as free as possible from all flaws or defects. Another definition is without any blemishes or imperfections, perfect. And a sentence that was used was her brown, flawless skin. Now, a lot of people want their skin to be perfect. A lot of people. I would like my skin to be perfect, but what is perfect? So my skin is not perfect, quote unquote, right now. Um, I have some hyperpigmentation right now, and I just kind of want to show myself, even though it's going to be about skincare and everything, basically showing that I'm imperfect, but I'm still working on perfecting my skin. And when I use the word perfect, I'd rather go from the biblical translation or the biblical definition, also from Google. But to go from a more biblical standpoint, perfect, when used in the Bible, means complete, whole, mature, and fully devoted to God, rather than flawless or sinless. So I want to focus on this channel as we are working on having a more healthier skincare and have our skin look more healthier. We're focusing on becoming more complete and more whole. And that definition comes from the inside. It does not come from our exterior or how our exterior looks, which was something that I've had to learn throughout the years. Um, Another definition was a heart wholly devoted to God, or a life lived with integrity, or a state of spiritual maturity. So there are many verses I could use, or I wrote a lot of notes down about this, but I wanted to emphasize that Jesus himself was perfected. Jesus, who was the only perfect human being on this earth, was perfected. And he was perfected in Hebrews 5 verse 9. It says, and having been perfected, he became the author of eternal salvation to all who obey him. Speaking of his crucifixion and resurrection. So Jesus, who actually was the only perfect human being, was perfected. And that's the kind of perfection that I want to strive towards. Being whole, being complete, being whole in Christ. Yeah, so I wrote a lot of notes. I was preparing for this video because I wanted it to be perfect. But yeah, so I want to speak more about myself. So as a young girl, I desired perfection in many different ways. I wanted my hair to be perfect, my body type to be perfect, my style of clothes to be perfect, the clothes I wore, my looks, and my skin. I wanted my skin to be perfect too. And from the ages of 12 to maybe like 13 or 14, my skin was not perfect at all. Not even close. Not even like okay. Not even like people were asking me, "Are you okay? What's going on?" Because obviously, puberty hit me hard. So I had zits. I had huge zits, and they were like big, painful pimples that ended up becoming dark spots, and then I was left with those dark spots for months. And yeah, then from ages 14 to 19, I was pretty carefree. I stopped worrying about my skin. Pimples stopped forming, so I didn't have a reason to pick my skin. By the way, picking your pimples obviously brings hyperpigmentation, but I need to tell myself that. But yeah, so 14 to 19, I was more carefree. I didn't really care about how my skin looked too much unless I had like a zit. Or I had a zit one time, like exactly where my dimple is right here. So, and then obviously it became a dark mark. A lot of people with darker skin tones can relate for the most part. That when pimples go away, or even if you don't pick at them, sometimes they become, dark spots. But it was a dark spot right where my dimple is, so it just looked like I had like a deep dimple. So, it was a cute dark spot for a second. It was one that I actually was okay with. But anyways, so 14 to 19, was carefree. I was using like a simple Dove soap or a bar soap to wash my face, and yeah, I wasn't using sunscreen. I wasn't using any of that. I was pretty chill. My skin was pretty clear. I also changed my diet. I began drinking a lot more water, and I also was eating a lot more vegetables as well, but that was more so because I was in sports, not really for my skin. I wasn't really caring about my skin at that time. Now, ages 19 to 22. Um, so when I was around that age, I went through something like something that caused severe hyperpigmentation that lasted for months, from days to weeks, from weeks to months, from months to years. And it was a very painful and like dreadful moment of my life. It was also something that I didn't want to face at the same time, but also it wasn't giving me peace. I wasn't at peace. I felt like my skin wasn't, I felt like I couldn't wake up in the morning and go barefaced or go as is. I felt like I always had to cover up with makeup. And I didn't feel like I was at peace. I didn't feel free because, my skin was not how I wanted it to be. And so because of that, I actually did get into a lot of skincare stuff because I was trying to fix the hyperpigmentation that I was dealing with. Um, and then from that, I became very, I'll say, like aggressive in my attempt for treatment. At that time, I did not even know the steps in which I could get dermatologist. I was even trying to pay that bill at all. So I did a lot of research and got into like oils. I made some butters, and I was basically targeting my hyperpigmentation myself. And it did work. And one day I'm going to figure out how to post pictures, like on the video, edit pictures. I have no idea how to do that, but I'll be able to show like the stages in my skincare routine. But yeah, I got into a lot of skincare ingredients that can help you, harm you, or that you have to be careful with. And basically, that's what this channel is going to be about. And as you can see, I'm still dealing with some hyperpigmentation now. Um, and I still do pick my skin a lot, which leads to hyperpigmentation as well. So I'm working on that. And yeah, I'm working on just being at peace with my skin the way it is, and letting it heal, and yeah, using the right skincare routine that helps my skin and doesn't hurt it. So yeah, basically, I would like to break free from the stronghold of perfectionism and become complete and perfected in Christ. And obviously, you're gonna see, I'm gonna try different skincare routines on my skin, and see how it helps with hyperpigmentation. If I ever if I break out to you, I think I did the other day, you know, finding some skincare routines for that as well. And yeah, we're just growing together. Yeah, so that's what this channel is going to be about. And I told you a little bit about myself, and I'm definitely going to explain more, break down some more about myself and my experience and everything I learned. And I'm excited to do this journey with you guys. I know I had to do it. It came to a point that I felt, you know, convicted when people would ask me what my skincare routine is, because I've been meaning to make this channel for a while, but I'm glad I'm making it now. And yeah, I'm excited to start this with you guys. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye.